I am Max, and this is Dango Duo! Hey there! Heads up before we get started with today's, reaction to Attack on Titan Season 2! Kitty, got really sick, and her voice is completely gone. So even though we watched the episode together, I will be reacting by my lonesome. Don't worry, I have Kitty's thoughts right here with me. All those pages that she had to write, cause there is so much we have to say about this episode. Not really, but you know what? We'll take it one step at a time. Hey there, we're Dango Duo with anime content and Let's Play stuff every single day. If you're new to our reaction series, I recommend you go back to the first episode where we explain the format and henceforth, and that way you'll know what we actually do over here. Since I'm by my lonesome and since we're kind of already in the anime, I'm gonna treat the format very lightly. So, as always, let's take it from the top. What happened today in episode 3 of Attack on Titan Season 2, or episode 28? I'm gonna give you a really light, quick and easy summary, no spoilers. As for what actually happened this episode, I'm gonna be completely honest and say that it was a little bit of a mess. We have, like, the beginning, the middle, and the tail ends of several storylines. We catch up with Connie. We catch up with Eren, we catch up with Sasha, and we catch up with Ymir and Krista, and this feels like a middle of middles. They're really, and if I must foreshadow some of my thoughts already, there isn't much that happens that is gripping in this particular episode. It really does feel like a middle of middles. We see things, we see more glimpses into what has been happening. We finally make it to the present, question mark. If you enjoyed our timeline discussion last week, you will enjoy today's episode's discussion on the timeline. But yeah, this episode is a middle of middle. We catch up on everyone pretty much. What they've been doing, where are they, and where are we moving forward for what is probably going to be the next 3 episodes of this anime. But that's more for the spoiler zone. Let's talk first and foremost now on what I like the most about this particular episode. Did you really like the lesbians though? Because they did nothing together.
At least they had a scene.
I'm gonna keep that in there. Well, as you can hear in the background, I don't know if you heard it, probably not, because her voice is dead. Kitty, what she liked the most about this particular episode was the lesbians. There was some interaction between Ymir and Krista, and as you can see, their chemistry was amazing. Totally, kinda. It is kind of interesting to see that Krista and Ymir are kind of being pushed into the foreground. We joke about this all the time, but it's true that they only had one line of dialogue together in the entirety of the last 25 episodes of Season 1. It was kind of embarrassing, especially when the first episode of Attack on Middle High has 10 times as much dialogue between those two girls. It's kind of ridiculous. Honestly, and I joke about this all the time, but Attack on Middle High is like the best way to watch Attack on Titan. It's funny, but anyhow. You know what else is funny? What I like the most about this particular episode? Watching episode 3 has made me realize that the opening is kind of growing on me. Yeah, I'm starting to like the opening. Which is a little bit funny and sad because after the opening was done, we had nothing left but a middle of middles. Which brings me over to what Kitty and I both dislike the most about this particular episode. The pacing is a goddamn mess. The pacing in this anime is a goddamn mess, and the whole time we're watching, we're like shouting at the screen going, is there no other way to do this? Is there literally no other way to tell this freaking story without cutting us back and forth between 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 11 hours ago? Excuse me, 5 hours after the Titan attack, 7 hours after, and then 11 hours after the Titan attack. It's silly. It's actually legitimately silly. And it's come to the point now that I'm actually reading the manga and understanding that the things that I don't like about AOT, particular character arcs, particular character elements, things about the setting, those problems are there. And it's kind of part of the Attack on Titan cake. But the anime's pacing is inherently the anime's problem. And Kitty and I were talking, and sometimes I get the feeling, and I hate to be like crude here, but sometimes I get the feeling that they wrote all the scenes that were gonna happen, the storyboard. They cut it out into index cards, and then they just shuffled it. For seemingly no good reason. Because the episode... you know what? You know what? I'm gonna slow down. Kitty's not here to rein me back. We'll talk about more on this on the spoiler zone. What did I dislike the most? The pacing. And Kitty disliked that as well. It's all over the place, and instead of it being like a nice climb, you know, like a nice incline that takes us towards the excitement near the end of the episode, it was just kind of up and down, down and up. So, you heard what kind of happened in this episode, you heard what we liked, what we didn't like. Now we're gonna be diving into the spoiler zone, so you know the dealio. If you want to go watch this episode and see for yourself what happened, I recommend you do. There should be a link to Crunchyroll in the description down below. You can watch this anime for free online at Crunchyroll. It's awesome. Now, I'm gonna count backwards from 3. And I'm gonna assume that if you tag along, you're either okay with spoilers or you have already seen the episode and you want to know what we think about it. So, 3, 2, 1! That's a spoiler, Kitty.
No, it's not. They hinted at it.
They kind of hint at it, don't they?
The most important character.
The most important character, Rico! Without I fucking love Rico! Oh, and they're back in this episode, they're my fucking favorite. I think that's another character that's supposed to be, like, gender neutral. Because in the Attack on Middle High, they wear, like, a non-gender uniform, just like Hanji. Hey there, I'm talking to Kitty on the side. You can't hear her because her voice is gone. But anyhow, welcome to the spoiler zone. Attack on Titan. Let me just take a quote from the book of Kitty. Attack on Titan, episode 28, verse 1. A week too late again! And I have to kind of formally agree. Yeah, the episode starts, first off with Connie reacting to the fact that his town has been destroyed and that his house has a very nice new decoration in the form of a Titan. And, he, of course, cries and has that moment of reaction of, like, my family's gone! But we already knew that from the last episode, and as anyone who has played an RPG and paused in the middle, you know that when you pick it up again, you kinda have lost a lot of emotional attachment. And honestly, as someone who I have been waiting to get any Connie, to care about Connie, and this is just, yeah, he's sad. Yeah, of course he's sad. Why didn't we just get this at the end of the previous episode? So it would actually kind of lead us forward. Instead, we get that Connie, and that's it. That's it. Oh, and also, Connie, either the little throwable Titan talked, or Connie heard him talk, or thought he heard him talk. And that's weird. But what's weirder than that is that after that Connie stuff, we get the nice little episode screen, and then we start up rewinding again. So what happened 7 hours after the Titan spotting, which ironically does not give us a point of reference for the now. Because it would be more effective if it was 12 hours ago. But instead of that, it creates this kind of amorphous time frame. Because you know that if you watch the previous episode, I made a timeline trying to understand. And by the way, in case you're trying to keep track, Connie's scene takes place at dusk. So the chaos Ragnarok situation I was proposing, the stupid situation was that his stuff was happening at dusk, and it is. Which means that the previous episode's timeline was stupid. But you know what? Let's overlook that, because I could be here. And as much as I would like to make a second diagram, I might not. There's a lot of stuff we gotta cover. We also get some nice Ymir and Krista talking, which, it was a bit of an odd conversation, but it does kind of establish that Krista exists for a thing that's gonna happen later. Oh, and a thing from Kitty's notes that I forgot to mention is that the music in this episode is actually the weirdest thing. There are moments during this episode in which the music, like, hypens up for some reason and then just stops randomly. Like, it almost feels as though someone just didn't realize they cut off the music at one point. And then we have, like, electronic synth music near the end, and it's just like, really? It was really awkward. So after the situation with Krista and some much more time jumping back and forth, we get Rico. Rico shows up for like 2 seconds. I freaking love Rico. They're one of my favorite fucking characters. And then we cut back to the pseudo kind of present, I guess. We cut back to Eren and the gang. And they basically tell us once again that the walls are made of Titan. The walls are made of hardened Titan. And the thing that makes this kind of obnoxious and annoying even is that we already knew this. You told this to us on the very first episode of this new season, with characters saying it, and also one of those splash screens halfway through the episode telling you exactly how the walls work. So here we are again, reviewing information and having a very good character like Armin go completely to waste. Because instead of him connecting the dots, he's just revising things again. And as we mentioned in the previous episode, every second that we spend in this anime reviewing what we already know is a second that we don't push the story forward. And this episode really does suffer from the feeling of, we are really not going anywhere. The sensation that I get is that, like, you know when you're going on a trip, and it's like the morning of living for the trip, and you're ready, but no one else is ready, and you're just kind of standing there, and it's like, yeah, we have to leave, but we're not moving yet, and we can't do anything else, so we're just waiting here. That's what this episode feels like. It's just the middle of middles. Nothing really interesting happened, and there are certain elements here, and I'm jumping ahead, but the manga and the anime have both made it very clear that Titans... Something just fell. The Titans...
Read my note.
Which note? What note, Kitty? I don't know about... is it second page?
No, that was on
Oh, I have to talk about Sasha. Oh, that's... I don't...
treating us as babies.
Oh, yeah. Hanji, we know this already. We learned it 2 episodes ago. Stop treating us like babies, and it's absolutely correct. And I guess since I'm already here, because I forgot what I was saying, halfway through Hanji and everyone being like, oh, Eren, you have to get a new haircut to fix the wall, Sasha shows up, and ironically, no one reacts to Sasha, but they still give her a steamed potato that Hanji just had on the side. Forget that. The funniest thing to me is that this completely fucking wrecked the timeline, because at the end of the previous episode, Sasha came out, or met the other people at sunrise, at dawn, but we're back at nighttime. And the flashbacks are dealing with hours. Where are we? When are we? And the weirdest thing about this is that, like, and I'm just gonna be completely honest, it feels weak because it feels as though there is no other way to bring Sasha back, so just have her show up for some reason, even though it makes no freaking sense. And give her a potato because, fuck, why not? Give her a fucking potato.
Read my note on that too. It's on the second page.
Sasha ruined the scene again. Yeah, it's true.
Very important dialogue.
Yeah, no, because it's great because she literally stops and interrupts the mega revelation of, like, oh, I fucking hate the wall guy. Because halfway through this, the guys are like, hey, cold wall cold guy, tell us how the walls work and help us fix it, otherwise we're all gonna freaking die. And he's like, it's not for me to say, it's not my place to make this choice. And I'm literally, like, sitting there vibrating. I'm like, do something to this man. And I know we already threatened to kick him off a giant wall. I don't know. Torture is always an option. MistreKirin 2016. Torture is always an option, everybody.
Last year.
2017. And the other issue that I have with that is that the wall cult guy is like, no, the real secret, all the answers will be revealed. You can't see me. I'm waving my hands. I'm waving my hands like an adult trying to distract the baby. All the answers will be revealed if you save her. Who is her? Sasha walks in, and then they're all like, oh, a girl with long hair, who is cute, who is out with Ymir. I wonder who it is. It's fucking Krista. Of course it is. And it feels weird to not only interrupt the reveal, but also just show us Krista then. It's so weird. It's so weird. Also, just to be real clear here, this is weak storytelling, because the wall cult guy could just be fucking lying. But of course, it's weak storytelling because, of course, Krista's the answer. But no one ever questions the story. No one ever goes, hey, should we trust this wall cult guy? Because he could be trying to one-up us right now. No. He's clearly saying the truth. I mean, he's so trustworthy, and he looks like, he looks like a straight shooter. I would trust someone like that with my life. Anyhow, the episode ends with Ymir doing shady business, and that guy, whose name I forget, being all like, Like, we're going through Christus's clothing and go, wow, like, I can't believe she wears this ring somewhere. Where does that ring go? Let me know where you think it goes in the comments down below. But anyhow, at which point, and I'm gonna be real with you, I'm gonna call them C-listers, because they have nothing else going for themselves. The C-listers get attacked by titans in the middle of the fucking night. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. The anime and the manga both make it clear, especially through Hanji's experiments in Season 1, and I'm literally at that point in the freaking manga, so I can literally tell you from memory that titans require sunlight. They don't immediately fall apart the instant the sun goes down. Some titans immediately do, they become lethargic, others slow down. How are there titans attacking at night? And don't fucking say it's the beast titan, because that makes no fucking sense. There are titans, by the way, in this group that are from the group that he was with earlier, or in episode 1, so I was making the joke that it's his posse, it's his little gang, but, like, I don't understand. It's so weird. It's like, does he... I don't know. Because I remember in Season 1 in the manga, they try to wake them up, or they try to stir them, and they just wouldn't move. It's not that they fall asleep, it's that they can't move. So why are they moving? And it feels like one of those things where I'm like, we're not gonna get the answer. So it's just weak storytelling. And of course, the episode ends with Beast Titan showing up and being all like, I'm gonna do something. Not here though. Oof, no, you guys deal with that. I'm gonna do all the interesting stuff off screen while you guys deal with all these titans. So we have 2 main plots right now, unless I'm wrong. We have the people in the ruined castle who are gonna be fending off titans, and we have Eren and the gang who are gonna go off and plug the hole in wall Rose.
No,
is it Maria?
They're gonna go save Krista.
Oh, is that what they're doing? Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. So they're going to save Krista. So kind of our storylines are converging now, which is good. But as anyone who has seen Attack on Titan Season 1 can attest, that it really does feel, and I hate that I can make this joke as a joke and it still be true, that we're gonna spend the next 3 episodes in these castle ruins. And that's like the main issue that I have with the AOT anime, is that like I'm reading the manga, the pacing is fine. Seriously, I'm reading the manga and I'm going, yeah, I don't feel exhausted by the end of this. But with the anime, all these ridiculous cuts that more often than not feel like filler, or just to, I don't know, overcomplexify, that's a word. To make the story seem more complex, I don't know. Like, listen, like, I write stories for a living, like, you don't have to cut back and forwards into the future and the past to make your story seem complex. Like, at the end of the day, if people care about your characters, you're fine. But this constant cutting back and forth makes me careless about people, because I don't get to see them. We have had a total of like 5 minutes with Eren this entire season. And also one last thing before I head out, is that there's of course the hilarity that the episode ends, I think, with all the nobodies who are hanging out with Connie and blonde hair dude and long face dude and Ymir and Krista. Like all the nobodies, all the people who really don't have faces jump out to do what they do, and I'm like, you're all dead. It's like, you might as well be stormtroopers. And it's that sort of thing where I'm just like, can't the other guys, I don't know, like, at least seem like they're gonna do something? I don't know. Maybe they will, but they don't have their omnidirectional gear with them, so I don't know. There's more spoilerific stuff that I would like to talk about, especially pertaining to one scene in the opening. The opening shows a scene between 2 titans fighting, one being Eren and one being the armor titan, and I'm getting the slight faint feeling that we're kind of heading there, but I'm gonna leave it there for now. Am I looking forward to the next episode? I want to be wrong. I want this castle breach to be 1 episode so we can actually move forward. Because just so that we're clear right now, this season so far, these 3 episodes have spanned 1 night. or maybe 2 days at most. I don't even know, because we're back at dusk. And you know what? It's fine. I'm leaving it here, because I have some more stuffs to do, but you're gonna hear about those later. For the time being, we are Dango Duo. We do anime content and Let's Play stuff every single day. If you tagged along all the way till the end of this episode, I wanna thank you. Leave a comment. We reply to every single comment. Check out the playlist, and hang around for some more Spring Anime 2017 stuffs. And of course, if you enjoy our stuffs, please consider checking out our Patreon. You can get cool things like watching our videos early, vote on upcoming Let's Plays and videos, and get a shout out at the end of these editorials, like our other Patreons like Amelia, Angela, and Amuron. Thank you for your support and your patronage. And for the time being, thank you, viewer, for tagging along, and we hope to see you next time.
Yay.